Dear Piggy Python course. I'm so excited to have you back with me today. And we are going to be learning about functions. So I'm going to introduce to you how to define a function, how to kind of run a function, and then we are going to work on passing an argument into the function parameter, as you can see in these two pictures here. So let's get started. Go to a new tab in your browser. I always say go to a new browser, and it's so funny. And go to repl.it, which is Replit, our in-browser IDE. Click the blue Start Coding button in the top right-hand corner or in the center, and choose your language Python. Create your REPL, and now we're going to get started. So the way functions are is they kind of work very similar to variables, at least the most basic functions. You define them once, and you give it a set amount of functions inside of it, and then you can use it over and over and over again. So just like variables, you define it once and you can use it so many more times. So let's just say I'm going to make a function that prints out some code, let's say. So we can say we have to define it, and the key word to define our function is def. That stands for define. So we say def, and then we give our function a name. So mine could be print greeting. This is a long name, so I'm just going to do print greet, and then you have to put the parentheses behind it. It's basically, these parentheses are saying this is my function name. Then you put a colon. Now, when you indent, when you go to the next line and Replit, it automatically indents for you. And that is really, really important. So if you're working on this in your own program that's not Replit, it might not do this. And it's so important because Python really focuses this on indenting. So if you don't indent, that's not a part of your function. You have to indent. Everything that you indent that's in the function, in this little general region over here, that is going to be what happens in your function. So print greet, I'm going to say hello, and then we can also print on the next line, nice to meet you today. Nice to meet you today. And then we're going to print one final line, what's your name? And my name is Sunny. So this is our function, and I really want to emphasize this one more time. We define the function in this first line here, line 1. We say def and the name of the function with the parentheses. Now, after we enter to a new line, we have to make sure we are indenting. Every single part that I want to be a part of my function has to be indented. Has to be indented. Great. I hope you have that stuck in your head now, right? So let's just say I finished defining my function. Now we need to get out of the indent, so no longer be indented, otherwise your code is not going to work. So get out of the indentation, and then let's run it. So we can say print underscore greet with the parentheses, and make sure to spell that right. So now this is going to be what the function does. This is the function name, and over here we run our function. So just this code by itself is not going to do anything. Like you can see, if I comment this out and we run our program, nothing is going to happen in our console because we haven't told it to do anything. Now, lots of people think that by defining the function, it's going to just run it, and that is not how it works. Once you define your function, you need to tell your program to run that function. So then we have to do print greet with the little parentheses, and then when we run it, it says, hello, nice to meet you today, my name is Sunny, and that was our function. And if we wanted it to do it one more time, or 2 more times, just to get a quick idea, instead of having to print that out, instead of having to write like 3 times 3 is 9 lines of code, we can just do these 3 lines of code with our function. And then it gives us, hello, nice to meet you today, my name is Sunny. Hello, nice to meet you today, my name is Sunny. Hello, nice to meet you today, my name is Sunny. That's a lot of introductions, but I hope you get my point. Functions are so helpful because you define it once using your indentations, and you can use it over and over. Now, the next part that we are going to work on is we are going to work on passing arguments into the function parameter. And this is going to be slightly new for the beginners there, but I think this is it's logical, so I think you will understand this. Let's say that I don't want to use the standard greeting for everyone, because not everybody in the world's name is Sunny, right? My name is Sunny, your name is not Sunny, my parents' names are not Sunny, your friend's name is not Sunny. Wouldn't it be confusing if everybody's name was Sunny? That would be weird, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these first two lines just to make it simpler. So now I'm going to only run this once. If we run our program, it just says one line, my name is Sunny. But say I want to see, let's see here. Say your name is Joshua, and you want to say, hi, my name is Joshua. If you hard code it to Joshua and you run it, you're very happy, right? But when your friend comes and runs it, and your friend's name is Sophie, and they run it, their name is not Joshua, right? So this is where we're going to start passing arguments into the parameter. Now, where the parameter is going to go is, does everybody see over here how we have this little parentheses when we defined it? Inside the parentheses, we're going to kind of give it like an argument. And that argument is just going to be called name. I'm going to call it name. And basically what it's saying is every time you define your function, you need to take a name as your argument. Like somebody has to give you something in those parentheses. You have to put some sort of name here. And remember, you have to put this in quotation marks, but you understand where you put the name. Now, what I can do, and I think this is really cool. My name is, and then you do the plus name. And so now when you do this, it's really cool. Just take a look. Say we have Sophie, and then we run it, and oh, yep, I did it wrong. We have to put it in quotation mark, guys, because it's a string. Remember we learned about data types. We run, and it says, my name is Sophie. Did you guys see that? And this is so cool now, because it's not hard-coded. We can change it to Joshua, and we can run it. My name is Joshua. We can change it to, if I wanted to change it back to Sunny, we could run it. My name is Sunny. So this is another level in functions. We have learned how to take an argument, and by argument we basically define like the argument name here, which it kind of acts like a variable in a way. And then we can give it whatever name you want. You can give it var if you want, as long as over here you make sure you add the same name. It corresponds to the one up here. And then inside of these parentheses, you have to pass in an argument, and it has to correspond with what type of variable you're giving. Or like, since in this case is var, if I changed it back to name, the name that you give over here needs to correspond to like make sense when you pass in your name up here. So let's do one more example. Greet food. Let's get rid of all this. My favorite food is, and then we can add whatever argument you pass in, plus, and we can say because, if I spelled that right, because it tastes delicious. So now if we run our code here, it says, oh, I forgot to change the argument. So currently it says, my favorite food is Sunny because it tastes delicious. Well, guys, please don't eat me. I'd like to live a little longer. What did I just have for lunch? I had beef during lunch today. So we can say, my favorite food is beef because it tastes delicious. And then one more example, pasta. I love pasta, such a huge pasta fan. My favorite food is pasta because it tastes delicious. So now I'm hoping that you guys have gotten a little bit of a better idea as to how you can pass arguments into functions. And before we go, let's break it down one more time as a review. Functions are very similar as to how variables work. You define it once, and then you indent what you want the function to do. Then you can run your function by using your function